So have you noticed? You don't need to have a server to view your web pages. All of our labs so far, and over 90% of labs in future lessons, can be run just on your computer. But that leaves you with a very small audience, yourself. So when you're ready to reach out to the World Wide Web, you need to build some infrastructure. And that's what this lesson is all about. There are a number of decisions and choices you need to make in order to create a useful website. We summarize the major points here. You need to define your objectives and audience for the site, choose a company or organization name, and register your business. Well, that could be optional. You want to choose a motto or a slogan, perhaps, and choose a logo. Again, that's optional. You want to choose a domain name and choose an ISP, Internet Service Provider. Then decide if you want to run a secure site, decide if you want to run a public or a private site, choose an FTP, File Transfer Protocol, client program, and possibly set up a merchant account. So now we expand on these a bit, but the above summarizes the context and could serve as a checklist for you. Getting on to fundamentals, define the objectives, the audience for your website. Why are you doing this? What do you want to accomplish? Who will be your customers or clients, and how will you identify, locate, and sell to them? What are you offering that will fill a need? You'll want to have a name for your company or organization. It might be your own name, or it might be a name that clearly describes your product or service or your target clientele. Think about registering your business. Partly depends on local laws and perhaps the type of business you're running. It might help protect your business or organization name. Consider trying to find a motto or a slogan. It's optional, but it can get attention and help you get business. It might help explain your business or service more clearly. It's also called a tagline. You also might want to have a logo. Although it's optional, a visual hook is an excellent tool for marketing. An online search for free website logo will turn up a lot of choices. Some thoughts on that. Some sites have templates you modify, change the colors, add your company name, logo, tagline. Some sites have designers in-house. Several sites run contests. You provide information and specify a price point. The designers submit their ideas, and you choose a winner. In any case, you want to make sure what kind of files you will get from this process. Are they suitable for web pages, business cards, brochures? What image formats will the files be in? Almost certainly you want to include SVG files if you'll be using this on a variety of platforms. SVG scales best. Look carefully. Often the design is free, but the files are fee, a subtlety that is easy to overlook and make you feel you've been had. It's okay to ask for payment, I believe. The company needs to make money, but in some cases it is not clear what the final price is likely to be. You might be able to design your own logo using just the name of your company and choosing a font and a color scheme that pleases you. But be careful not to overestimate your aesthetic sense. For a professional look, use a professional. Of course, you have to choose a domain name, the name that your users and clients will use to find your website. Often, it's simply the name of your company or organization followed by .com or .org or .net, one of those kinds of endings. The name will be case insensitive and should not contain blanks. This becomes your website name, and you must register this name, probably through your ISP. Your Internet Service Provider is the company that will host your website on its servers. Your ISP can register your domain name. They may charge you for this, although some ISPs might include the first year of your domain name registration for free. In addition to hosting your files, your ISP will usually allow you to set up a small number of email addresses, like steve@stillpluggingaway.com. A search on the internet will turn up dozens of companies wanting to host you. Be careful and do due diligence. Free can have hidden costs. For example, free hosting, you should check if it's for a limited time or a limited number of pages or a limited number of email addresses. Are you required to carry ads for other companies? Does your website name have to include the name of your ISP, like www.mysite.wallow.com, where mysite is your name and wallow.com is the name of your ISP? Ugly. Free website creation, check if it's limited to only a few pages or uses a tool that is hard for you to work with. For example, you might not be able to add pages you create yourself. And free website design, check if design is limited to only a small range of choices, and will you be able to make changes down the road. It's best to recognize you will have to pay a reasonable amount to get reasonable service. I recommend making sure your ISP will support these features. Server-side includes allowing you to create CGI programs using the PHP programming language and a relational database such as MySQL. Do you want to run a secure site, that is, use HTTPS instead of HTTP? Your ISP can help you with this. There's an upfront charge to generate a secure certificate. And you can wait and do this after you've been running a while, so you might want to wait until after you're established, although it is a bit easier to start out with this instead of adding it on later. The impact is that transmission of data between the server and client is encrypted. Note, this does not secure the data actually on your server or on your client, only during transmission. Do you want to run a public site or a private site? Again, your ISP can help you with this. A public site is available to all, including search engines. A private site requires an ID and a password to access the content. This is accomplished by password protecting your home directory. You can do this anytime and even run with part of your site public and part private. Now you must choose an FTP, File Transfer Protocol, client program. This program is the mechanism for loading web pages from your computer to your ISP's servers. For this course, we will use FileZilla from the FileZilla project, but there are others. This is a free product with no strings attached. We describe how to install, set up, and use this program in the following video. If you'll be accepting payments, you must set up a merchant account. The best known is PayPal, but there are others around. And this is an area where you might want to hire someone or have your ISP help you. I set up a PayPal account for stillpluggingaway.com, and I found the programming to be quite difficult. So not all of these decisions will be made necessarily in this order, and it's likely you'll have to repeat some, maybe several times. Maybe the company name you chose is already taken, or your domain name is in use or for sale at too high a price. Back to the drawing board. Still, you want these decisions to be made as early in the process as possible. At this point in the course, we assume you've made your decisions and are in the process of putting it all together. Once you have your ISP and domain name, you're ready to start uploading files to the server. Coming up, Lesson 5, How to Upload Files. See you there.